4-5 matchup. Bucks Pacers. Heartbreak for sure. I don't know if this is worse than the 1-8 against the Heat 2 years ago, but I think the choke job of it all is what made it just that much more difficult to watch. As a fan who already had accepted fate, it was hard to be given this hope of like, oh, they might actually get this game and be able to go back home. And what if we get that game? And then if we go back, everything's fair in a game 7. But to kind of choke the game away like that with the impending offseason and what all of that may mean is a very tough pill to swallow if this is the last time we've seen, Giannis as a Buck. So definitely tough to watch. But thoughts on this series.
Go
Hold
ahead,
faith.
Miguel.
Hold faith.
I'm holding faith until I hear something.
Granted, power of the tongue is a crazy thing.
It is.
If you've been tuning in, you're talking about a curse of some sort. We did get a ring, so maybe it's a bit of a witch's curse about we got an in-season tournament ring. So maybe this is kind of part of the plan too. Did I also say that Dame would retire and that Giannis would go off into the sunset with him? God, I hope that part doesn't come true. But I did say it would be a very bad crash and burn, and that Giannis would go on somewhere else. Let's talk the facts. No draft picks for 6 years. No real trade capital. No real cap space. Aging core pieces in Brook and a 33-year-old Dame now with an Achilles tear. 34. I think it is worse than the 1-8 because of who knocked us out, who was hitting late buckets, and being up 7 with 40 seconds. Bad look, tough look. And it had to be, like I said, that man from Oshkosh doing all the yapping. But here's the silver lining. John Halliburton may have saved Bucks being in a Giannis jersey. Giannis being in a Bucks jersey. I can't even think straight because I'm so excited. Thank you, John Halliburton, for going on the court, waving that towel, and going face to face. Talk about either some cojones or he was drunk, because as soon as Giannis is walking towards me, 180.
Yeah.
Forehead to forehead. Granted, forehead's a bit larger for reasons, but with Giannis, and you can see the part down the middle of my head. He had his whole forehead on that man, and then proceeded to cup Benedict Matherin's head like it was a chalice. He is going to stay in Milwaukee just out of spite to destroy the Indiana Pacers for 4 more years, or for however long that he's in this league. I don't think that he wants to do it in no other jersey than a Bucks jersey. He said it post game that they're going to have to kick me out. And, it wasn't looking so good when you see Dame go down and that be the big part of our trade package that is supposed to make this team work. But outside of the ball slipping out of Gary Trent Jr.'s hands and the jump pass on the side of the court, he played a phenomenal game. We had him a vet min. If we can retain his contract, if we could build around who was our original draft pick in KBJ and AJ Green, let Ajax get some burn, let Tyler Smith see the court, let the highest paid rookie ever in the NBA history, and Lord, do I remember his name? Chris Livingston. Do we let him see the court and let, this young core start to develop around Giannis? Let Brook go off into the sunset. Thank you for all that he's done. Let Bobby slide to 4. Let Giannis play the 5. And we just become a defensive run and gun team with a 7-foot Russell Westbrook and just try and make a 2.0, 3.0 version of that, instead of try and play, this drop coverage with Brook. Like, we embrace our versatility and our mobility with Giannis at the 5 and just put a bunch of perimeter defenders around him and shooters and AJ Green, and find a way to draft by trading Kyle Kuzma for some sort of capital in this next draft or in the next 2 years. I think there's something that can be done in the East. I don't think that any team that is Giannis led does not have any shot of something, as long as, maybe we ship Doc out in favor of a Mike Malone, in favor of an Eric Spoelstra, who somehow is in the air of what he looks like in the Miami Heat organization. There are things that can be done that are not just ship Giannis out 4 pieces, even though easiest option. And the national media has been wanting this for a decade plus now. They're getting their true wish of an open window of that being a possibility. But this is my bit of levity for Bucks fans, that there is a way. But sucks. This thing sucks. Oh my God. Yeah, definitely worse than 1-8. Definitely worse than 1-8. No shot. The 1-8 sucked. The 1-8 was a gut punch with Jimmy, like with that interview afterwards. But I think everything that has happened with Indiana in the last 2 years, with this going how it went, the ball slipping through his fingers, being up 7 with 40 seconds, gives me Brandon Bostic, gives me Packers, Seahawks off the helmet energy. Just great being a Wisconsin sports fan. Great humility and great strength by us, I think. I don't think no other fan base, other than the Minnesota Timberwolves fan base, has endured such pain in sports. Minnesota Timberwolves have the worst statistical franchise in NBA history. And also, all of their sports suck. The Vikings suck. The Twins, they're a team. Can't say that we're any better on that end, but we have the Packers at least. I don't know how we got here, but oof. That's the word of the day for that Bucks game.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think you guys are Delulu for thinking Giannis stays. I think he stays too.
I think he wants to absolutely murder somebody in the Pacers organization, but he would much rather do that by, keeping them from seeing playoff light until he retires.
Yeah.
Shouts out one of my friends that brought that inkling up that I have spread on. I will find their government. Give me a second. Go on. Continue.
I'll cry. But no, I pretty much agree. I pretty much agree with everything. I think regardless of what had happened, I think Giannis very much has reasons to stay. He has reasons to leave as well. I don't think it's so much about loyalty as much as it's about trust. I think every time Giannis has asked the front office to do something, they've done it. Now, in the process of that, have they depleted, their future? Yes. But I mean, if it's one thing the GM has been, Horst has been creative. So is there hope? Yeah. Will that be enough? Time will tell. So we don't see.
My twin Nelson said he does not want to run from smoke against Indiana after this. So I think he goes if we get to a certain point, we beat Indiana, we plateau with the talent we have, and it's like, oh, well, that's all we had. No real shot of retooling. I think with Dame going out the way he did, and with us being so close in a game that could have turned the series outside of a couple, mistakes here and there, I think that gives him enough hope to be like, I'm going to stick it out for Dame because I'm not, one of these other dudes that would just, jump ship at any opportunity. James Harden. But, yeah, I think he sees it through.
For sure.